What is going on, beautiful people? Thank you very much for joining me today. I have a spicy deck. I actually have two. Basically, this deck has gone through many transitions and evolutions, as I call it, because it's a really spicy deck that deals with Fires of Invention and the Ultimatums together. So let me show you the cards. Basically, we do have the 4 copies of Fires of Invention, which is the most important card in the deck. Basically, it's a 4-drop enchantment, and you can cast spells only during your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You may cast spells without converted mana costs. With converted mana costs less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana costs. So as you guys can see, this is a very powerful enchantment that virtually lets you cast stuff for free, as long as you're only casting 2 in your turn, and then it prevents you from casting stuff during your opponent's turn. We do have a Thirst for Meaning. We're only running one of those. In the early stages of this deck, I noticed that we were sometimes needing to refill our hands, and we didn't have a way to do that. So I am playing 1 copy of Thirst for Meaning, which lets us draw 3 cards and then discard 2 unless we discard an enchantment. We're also running 2 Othokayas just because one of our worst matchups are usually aggro matchups. So we want to make sure that we're dealing with the creatures early, and we're also getting life in the process. Another way to get rid of all the early creatures, of course, is Deafening Clarion, and we're running 2 of those as well, just to make sure that we're able to reach our goal, which is the late game. We're also running probably one of the best cards in Standard, which is Drawn from Dreams. I'm going to be really sad when this card leaves, but basically you look at the top 7 cards, and then you just choose 2 of them, and then you put them in your hand, and the rest go to the bottom of the deck. Which again, with Fires of Invention, you can cast that for free, so you're essentially getting 2 cards for free. We're also running 2 copies of Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, mainly because there are some times where we do get to the late game and we're running low on cards. This is a way to protect ourselves from doing that and winning the game if we do deck ourselves out because of his static ability. We're running 4 copies of Circuitous Route, just as a mana ramper to try to get us to our late game. And most of the times we play Fires of Invention turn 4, and then we cast this for free, and now we have 6 mana to play with. And if we drop 1 more mana, then we can just cast any of these spells, which are the Ultimatums. We'll talk about this in a minute. We're running also more removal in the form of Kaya's Wrath, just because again aggro matchups are pretty bad for us, so we want to make sure we can deal with them. And then we're also running 4 copies of Tamiyo, which is one of my favorite cards, and a pretty broken one as well. Basically, this is a card that makes most of our opponents give up, just because we're always getting the Ultimatums back with our -3 ability. And then if we don't have it and we need it and we have the lands for it, then we're actually just +1ing and looking for them, which is insane. So this card is amazing, definitely a 4-off. We're also running, this is also one of my favorite cards. It's really close to me. I've been playing with this card for a while. Back in the days when it first came out, I made a multicolor deck. But essentially, this card lets us draw cards whenever a multicolor spell is cast, which is why you see this multicolor spells being in the deck instead of just the easier to cast removal. So we're running 3 of those, and it also adds 1 mana of any color, so it helps us fix our mana. Of course, we're running my favorite card in Ikoria, which is Shark Typhoon. It's a 6 mana enchantment that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get a shark, XX blue shark equal to its converted mana cost. So a pretty nice finisher here as well. Whenever we cast any of the Ultimatums, we're essentially getting a 7/7, and most of the time it's for free. Let's talk about the Ultimatums now. So we have 1 copy of Ruinous Ultimatum, which destroys all non-land permanents your opponent controls, which has been a blessing. And then I usually get it back with Tamiyo and then do it again the next turn. And then people scoop. Same thing with this one, Eerie Ultimatum. If you guys have seen my previous videos, you'll know that this is also one of my other favorite cards in Ikoria. I've been testing with it for a long time since it came out, and I'm very happy to say that this card has always overperformed. And finally, we're running the Inspired Ultimatum, just because we need ways to draw cards to refill our hands. We need to gain 5 life in case we're low. and then we want to deal with any threat or deal 5 damage to the face. So these are the only 3 ultimatums that I'm playing. The other ones didn't seem to fit, uh, and I don't own the copy of the Genesis one. Maybe the Genesis one is also pretty good, but we run a lot of non-permanent spells. We're usually just winning by reoccurring all this stuff here. So anyways, the land is also pretty tricky. I don't own all copies of all the cards, so we're running the 2 copies of the Sultai land, 1 copy of the Jeskai land, 2 copies of the Timur land, and then 1 copy of the Marduk land. We are missing the Absent land, which is a very important one for us. So I do need to craft them when I get a chance. But you want to make sure you're updating that if you have all 4 copies. I think maybe 3 of each should be fine, and then maybe cut something else here. We're running Guild Gates and then Shock Lens for the rest fee of the cards, and then we have 1 of each of this basic lands. Just in case we need, because we don't most of our lands come in taps, so we want to make sure that we're able to hit this on turn 4 to go off. So we want an untapped source. So that's the deck, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoy as much as I did. There's gonna be actually 2 parts to this video. This version is actually the most up-to-date one, and then I will upload the other one so you guys can see how the deck has transitioned and how it came to this. Alright guys, so again, thank you very much for your support. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure you hit the like button at the bottom. Subscribe if you haven't done that, and hit the bell notifications so you know whenever I upload anything new. I always like bringing spicy stuff to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, because it's really fun to kind of brew with you guys. So thank you very much. You guys have a blessed day. Alright, so I apologize. I started recording a little bit late, but nothing much has happened. We just played some lands and then played a kitty cat. So we're going to play plains and pass the turn. Not much of a threat right now, so they're going to sacrifice the Evolving Wilds and look for a forest. Alright, so some sort of green, black, cat oven deck. Yep, there's the oven. And there's the cat. How you guys doing today? So he hits us for 1. This deck is pretty spicy. I gotta tell you, you know, I've been the last 2 nights I've been messing with it a little bit with the Fires of Invention. It needs a lot of tweaking, but I've come to a balance per se. I've come to a balance on the deck. So we're gonna get the 2 black lands, just in case we get another white source. We can cast the Kaya's Wrath. Although I don't think they play anything that can destroy enchantments in the deck, but they're playing some sort of Jund. So they're probably playing Mayhem Devil and all that stuff. I guess the 4th mana. Yep, there's Mayhem Devil. And now basically he sacrifices the food token. He deals 1. The cat comes in, deals another 1. Pretty good. Ooh, this is perfect. I wanted to show you this interaction. So because we have Fires of Invention, basically we can look at the top 7 cards right now and choose 2 cards from the top 7 and put them in our hands, and basically it's free. And I can only play 2 cards, so I'll just board wipe right now. He sacks the cat, deals 1 damage to me, and then he lets it resolve. I do need 1 more land in order to cast the Ultimatums, and there was 1 in the top 7. There was a couple, I think, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to show you guys basically what the deck is supposed to do, which is play the Ultimatums for free. So hopefully soon we'll draw a land card. Perfect. Alright, so we have that. We'll play the land. We'll play the Destruction Ultimatum. Basically Marduk color, so it destroys all of our opponent's stuff. Non-land permanents, basically. But yeah, so we have that. He's debating whether to bring the cat back, but he doesn't. Alright, he just lets it resolve. So we destroy all that. He gets to draw a card, there's a life. And then let's pass the turn. Actually no. Let's not waste the second spell. So let's draw 5 cards. So we're gonna gain 5, deal 5 to them, and then we're gonna draw 5 cards, which is insane for free. And then it's ridiculous. And we have to discard a card, and we discard the Otakaya. Although we should have discarded a land in case he plays something. Yeah, we should have discarded the land and played the Otakaya because we don't have anything else to play here. So right now it forces us to use a removal spell. The good thing about the cycling lands, the triomes, is that right now, especially for this deck, it's like we don't need any more lands. So we can just cycle it and draw a card whenever we need to. So that's definitely a good plus of having those in the deck. So here, see, let's cycle it, see what happens. The downside is that they do come in tapped. So if you're like playing against an aggressive deck, it could be, it could put you one turn behind. Alright. So that gives him another food token, which he can then sacrifice for the cat, which he does. And then he can pay 1 and look at the top 2 cards and choose one of them and put them in his hand. It's a pretty popular deck. I've never played it. I don't think it's not my cup of tea. And like I said, I like to bring you guys different decks, not what everybody else is playing. I may have seen some sort of variation of this deck, the Ultimatum with Fires and Invention, I think from MTG Goldfish. Olive, Saffron Olive, I think it's his name. But his is probably better. He plays better Magic than I do. Alright, so he gets another food token. He's going to sacrifice it just to get the other cat. And then look at the top 2 cards. And he gets another oven, which sucks for us. So now we got... luckily we have a lot of removal, which is what I came to the conclusion of when I was building... when I kept playing this deck. It didn't have enough removal. So we're going to cycle this. Hope to see something better. Perfect. So this is a 5-mana artifact that lets us draw cards whenever we cast a multicolor spell. And obviously we have like 4 multicolor spells in our hands right now. So this is our second spell. We're just gonna kill everything there. We're gonna draw a card. He's probably gonna sack one of the creatures. And that's why kind of this deck is very popular, just because it's very resilient. Like, you know, you can never really get rid of the cat unless you have some like graveyard hate to begin with. Alright. So that's another piece that we just drew. Tameo lets us get anything from our graveyard. So we usually get the Ultimatum. So here I think after he is done here and passes the turn, if it's depending on what he gets, what we want to do is we basically want to cast her and then get the Ultimatum back. And the destruction one will probably be the better one right now. Now he's running this god, which is a pain because it does get stuff out of our graveyard. It exiles them, and we kind of with Tameo we want to make sure we have stuff in our graveyard. So here we're gonna play Tameo, since he didn't play anything he didn't play anything that we couldn't handle. Alright, so we're gonna get back the Ultimatum, and we have a couple choices. But we're gonna get this one, the Ruinous Ultimatum. Just because we need to get rid of all his combo pieces right now. So that was our second spell, I believe. Let's just draw a card as well. So we're gonna sack the cat, which is gonna deal 1 more damage to us. So we're running a little bit low on life, and his god also deals 2 damage to us every time he exiles a non-land card, I believe. So, and it's indestructible, so right there it didn't do much. So right now we're kind of hoping that we can gain some life back. Alright, so he saw that what we're trying to do, he said that, you know, we're recurring all the spells. So he got rid of one of them. Let's see what we have left. No permanents, so right now, well, we have 1 permanent, so, but the Eerie Ultimatum isn't going to do much there. especially since that's a 3/4. The only permanent we have right now is Kaya with a Kaya, so it only deals 3 damage. Let's see what he does. So let's plus first. Try to find. Let's see what's good right here. Oh, it looks like he's responding. Alright, so he's gonna destroy our Fires of Invention, which is fine because we do have the second one in our hand. So let's look for. Let's see. Shark Typhoon since. Yeah, let's look for Shark Typhoon. Unfortunately now missed. So we still haven't played any card this turn. So we're gonna play another Fires of Invention, and let's go ahead and cast the Eerie Ultimatum. Just because we did hit another Tamio in the graveyard, let's revive all this. And apparently I misclicked and I didn't get the extra lands there. So get Tamio back, we deal 3 damage to them, gain 3 life. And then we're gonna -3 Tamio to get let's see, what do we get? Let's get the inspired ultimatum. Get the inspired ultimatum. But he keeps exiling all of our ultimatums, so. Alright. Perfect, this is a good draw. So we're gonna play this for free. And then we're gonna cast the. Let's find out. Let's look for a. Look for J since we're running out of cards right now. No luck. So we're gonna cast the ultimatum. Gain 5. Keep our life high. Deal 5 to them. Get a 7/7. And all this for free. So that's pretty awesome, guys. What is that? Oh, okay. So when the creature dies, it's reanimated. Not bad. Pretty good. Not expecting that. So we do get a Jace this time. He gets a trigger, draws a card, comes back, loses a life. So far so good. Let's go ahead and play a land. That way we only have to just discard it for no reason. Here we want to get rid of. We already have 2 of the Fire of Invention, so it doesn't matter. Let's get rid of this. I don't think I have any more guild gates or anything like that. Alright, so he gets to exile another card from us. Probably the ultimatum. Yeah. He really doesn't like those. Which is understandable. So that's 3 ultimatums exile. We don't have any in the graveyard. Uh-oh. Okay. Didn't expect that. So he's gonna take control of our 7/7. And he can put us down to 4 right now. If he wanted to. But instead he's gonna go 3 at Tamio, 7 at us. We get 2 more. Let's just cycle this and see what we get. Better than nothing, I guess, right? Better than a land. Okay. Perfect, so we got our creature back. Let's play another tome, just so that we can draw 2 cards. We get a 5/5. I think because we saw that he can take our creatures, we want to bullwhip right now. But first, let's attack. Okay, now we bullwhip to get another shark. We draw 2 cards. We gain 3 life because of the creatures that of our creatures that died. He takes some life as well. We gotta discard. Let's get rid of yeah, Otakaya. Everything else in our hand is just so powerful. Um, let's see. What else does he do? Alright, so place a land. Scries to the bottom. And then Wolf Strider. Alright, so here he can still play cards from the top of his deck. So he may looks like he sacrificed his token to move that card to the bottom and see what's on top. Luckily we still have one more border wipe in our hands. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's play this instead. But still not a lot of permanents. I mean, we do have a lot of lands and Tamio, but nothing. I mean, Otakaya too, but I think the best bet is just to play the Shark Typhoon. Get a 6/6, sorry. So now whenever we cast anything, we get 2 XXs, which is awesome. That's why I like the card so much. So let's board wipe because we gotta keep our life up. We're gonna get 2 4/4s, draw 2 cards. So basically right now we're trying to play the mill plan. So it's gonna sacrifice a look at the top. Yeah. Leaves it on top. Okay, interesting. And we for 1, get 2. And this is our second spell. So let's play a land. In all honesty, I think the deck probably needs some land-based fine tuning for sure. But other than that, I think the other cards are good. So it's gonna bring back the Strider. He's trying to go with the cat combo again. So looks good. Down to 10. Little by little, he's getting there. Ooh, this is nice. We only have 5 cards in our hand though, so I'm gonna cast Jace, get 2 4/4s. And let's cast the Ultimatum, gaining 5 life and securing our win unless he has something. Now he doesn't have, he tapped out of black, or else I would have been scared of some like instant removal for it. Although I guess he can play from the top of the deck, but it's not there. So we get us 2 7/7s. We gain 5 life. We get rid of the Wolf Strider. And then we deck out, so we win. 1, 2, and then resolve, and we win. Perfect. Like I said in the intro, like sometimes this is our road to victory. So next opponent, this looks like a solid hand. We just need 1 more land. He's playing probably some sort of aggro deck because he has Lurrus. So very low curve. Yeah. Typical. Alright, so we want to play the gate. Alright, so pretty good. So now we really just need 1 more land and we should be set. Come on, don't let me down deck. Alright, there's no reason to play the life, we don't have anything to cast. He's getting aggressive. Gotta love them aggressive decks. Alright, so we take 4, go to 14. Land, please. It is land, so that's good, but he came in tapped. So depending on what he does next, obviously we're definitely gonna cast the Fires of Invention, but we can either ramp or we can do a board wipe, but that would leave him a 1/1. We don't care about that because, you know, our board wipe doesn't deal damage, so being protected doesn't matter. Man, that's a lot of damage. Alright, we're down to 8. Alright, so we're gonna play a land here, and I think at this point we just need to board wipe. We can manage taking one here, but we couldn't take any more. We would have lost. We would lose. Alright, so now we can't board wipe anymore. But we did get a land. So our first spell is gonna be to ramp. That gives us the 7 mana for the Eerie, or I'm sorry, for the Inspired Ultimatum. So we're gonna actually kill the one that pings us to death. But we're gonna gain 5, destroy that, and draw 5. So as you guys can see, obviously the deck is pretty powerful. Now we get a board wipe, so that's good. As long as he doesn't get too aggressive or too big. And let's play our land drop. So we kept the Triumph just so we can cycle it to try to dig for something else. We don't really need it anymore because we do have another copy of Fire of Invention. So replace Loris. Gains a life. As long as he doesn't bring the that one. As long as he doesn't bring that one, should be good. If he leaves that mana out, we can't really board wipe because he can protect it. Okay, cool. He tapped out. That's perfect. So we're gonna take 3 here. It's gonna have a lot of life. So we're gonna take 3 here. We're just gonna cycle this for fun. And then we get a Tamio. So that's perfect. So our turn. Ooh, that changes nothing. We're gonna play the Tome for free, and then we're gonna play land, and then we're gonna board wipe because otherwise we die. I should have clicked the 0 cost, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. This is our second spell anyway, so it's not like we can do anything. So we're just gonna get rid of his board. Makes Dax's toughness less than 3, and then it dies. So it does gain a whole bunch of life. We don't have any more spells to cast. Okay. So here is very simple. We're just gonna loop the Ultimatum, get back our life. So we're gonna cast Tamia. Draw a card. Gonna -3 here. Get the Inspired Ultimatum. So we'll cast the Ultimatum, gain 5, destroy his creature, and draw 5 cards. Draw 6 cards actually. So definitely a good turn. And he gives up. Yeah, I would too. Honestly, guys, that's a pretty powerful loop. So now we're playing against White Flower, and this doesn't seem very good. It's a little bit better. We don't have the black mana, but mulliganing with this deck is really tough. We don't want to be. We want to make sure that we're hitting on land drops. Ooh, right off the bat, a card that's really good against us. So we'll just play this tapped. We gotta keep that just in case so we can draw. Alright. So we are drawing lands. We're gonna play into Guildgate. Some sort of enchantment deck. It's not bad. We don't have the black, so I guess at this point we just want to do this. Because we do need the blue source for Tamio. Oh, he's playing Fires of Invention as well. Nice. He's probably playing like a anti-meta deck, anti-graveyard deck. It's fine. Here we'll play Tamio. Now, we don't really want to do any of these abilities because if we do the +1, they're all gonna be exiled anyways. So we gotta just leave her out there. That way, in case he has anything that makes a sacrifice or discard, they can't because of her static ability. Um, but if we can deal with that void, I think the only thing we have is the ultimatum. This is perfect. Here we play the Fires of Invention. Uh, we'll deal with the creature so it doesn't keep attacking our Tamio. We want him to have targets other than us to keep attacking. We still can't use any of her abilities, of course. 4 mana now, okay. That's okay. So he's playing a similar deck to us, but I think his are more geared towards the Mardu colors only. Pretty interesting concept though, you know. He has life gain, he has graveyard hate. Very good against the meta right now. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so we're gonna play our first spell, Jace, and hope we draw into maybe more land. Because we do need to get to 7 in order to do the ultimatum. Alright, perfect. So we do draw land. We'll play it tapped. And then for our second spell, we're just going to board wipe. We don't want to see those creatures on the field. Pretty even game right now. Honestly. Only 2 cards in exile, which is good. I wish they weren't. But he's hitting his land drops as well. Nothing to target with her. It's a prison graveyard, so I guess that's what he's gonna be doing. It's playing a really cool deck though. So, second Fires of Invention. And then, alright, so we do hit another land. That's great. But let's see what else we can get. Let's know him. Another Tamio. We're just gonna run it out, I think, just to have her there. Even though we can't, again, we still can't +1 her at all. We don't want to give them more fodder for the for her -5. I debated putting one of those castles in the here, but I don't run out of black. It will be a good draw engine. We just need more card draw, to be honest with you. I believe he misunderstood the card because I wouldn't have done the -5 there for only 2. So we do have the, what is it, the 7th land? Yeah, so we are able to cast our ultimatum. But before we do that, let's go ahead and route, get more lands. Doesn't matter which cards we choose, and then we'll ultimatum, which unfortunately goes into exile. But we get to draw 5 new cards. I still can't do anything with Tamio. She's an enchantment right now. Doesn't do anything. Okay. That's a clock for us, but we don't really care for it. If we can get our destruction ultimatum, I forget the name, out on the field, we should be good. Alright, so we got another land. Let's go ahead and cycle these. These are good for cycling. Okay, we don't need that. Alright, more land. Now what we're gonna see. So we're gonna Jace here as well. That's a good card. A land. I don't think we need to discard now. We just need to, yeah. Let's just ramp more. Let's thin our deck out before we start drawing cards. I should have done that before I casted the Jace. But we take one, they gain one. So 7th land. We have 7 cards in exile. Okay. This deck is pretty sweet. I haven't seen it before, so that's awesome. I always like to play against different decks. That's always fun. That's the one. Oh no. He got it off before us. That's not good. And he gets to draw cards, man. That's good. Let's do it again. Unfortunate. Just get rid of everything. And it all goes to exile, so that's pretty bad. But it does let us draw 3 new cards. And there's ours. Okay, so that helps. Let's get rid of the land and the route. We don't need that. Luckily, we do have a second Fires of Invention. But this should be payback right there. That was our second spell, so we can't really do anything else. We're gonna keep the land to cycle, of course. I think right now we're pretty evenly matched. So it's really more of who top stacks better. Let's cycle this. So now that the void is not there, we want to make sure we can put stuff in our graveyards with Tameo, just so we can reanimate it with the Eerie Ultimatum. But first, let's get the Ruinous Blast. Or what? I forget. That was the name. I don't remember. Ruinous Ultimatum, I believe. Let's just place Jace and draw some new cards. I apologize if I look a little sleepy. It's really late right now. Okay, now we can't sacrifice stuff. Never mind. We can sacrifice stuff. And then, but that's not bad, because what we can do is, if he does attack our, Jace, we'll just sacrifice it, and then we can just bring it back with the other Eerie Ultimatum. So this is what the deck does, of course, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, it just basically loops everything. So first, let's just get rid of everything in his side. We don't like his stuff. Yep. And then let's reanimate our stuff. And then get the no, let's get the Eerie Ultimatum in case he does make us destroy our planeswalkers again, or our permanents. Let's mill him again. Try another card. Perfect. Alright, so another Fires of Invention for him. At this point, it's not really that important for a card in his deck, just because he has all the mana he needs. But and yeah, and then he decided to kind of run the clock. Sorry about that, guys, but let me just show you how he goes. Yep. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. Make sure you leave a like and a subscription.